Hi, this is Steve Rowe, Executive Director. It's been 3 weeks since I have recorded this weekly update video. Today is Wednesday, June 17th. The last 2 weeks, our administrator, Dr. Kim Bergen-Jackson, has provided the weekly updates. So it's my turn. I'm going to talk today about the testing that is occurring of our staff and our health center and assisted living residents, and how that fits into the planned or the phased reopening of visitation for our health center and for our assisted living residents. Some of you may be aware that as of June 4th, Governor Reynolds had essentially laid out a 3-phase reopening plan that kind of specified some criteria that individual communities should be looking at as they potentially opened up their nursing homes to visitors. All of us in the state of Iowa, as of June 4th, were in phase 1. To graduate from phase 1 and move into phase 2, really the primary criteria is that all of the residents in a nursing home, which is our health center, and all of the residents in assisted living needed to be tested, baseline testing, and all of the staff members. So for us at Oaknoll, on Monday, all of our health center and assisted living residents were in fact tested. They received the nasal swab test, so that it's not the truly invasive one with a long swab that goes up into your nose and feels like it may impact your brain. It's not that one, but it's just the nasal swab test. So all of our health center and assisted living residents were tested on Monday. Our staff is being tested yesterday and today. On Tuesday, we actually tested 162 individual staff members out of roughly 260 employees. So today, hopefully we're concluding that for anybody who is actually physically in town. We do have at least a couple of staff members who are away out of state on vacation this week, and they will be tested when they return. But we need to do that baseline testing. Once we've completed all the testing with our staff, the samples are sent to a lab called LabCorp, and they will be evaluating the tests and letting us know if we have any positive cases. Our expectation is that will take about 3 to 5 days for us to get results. So hopefully by early next week, we actually know if we have any positive cases here at Oaknoll. We're not expecting that. We have not had anybody who has symptoms that would cause us to think that we have any cases. But as I've looked at the documentation on the coronavirus website, I look at that almost on a daily basis, and it seems that of the reported positive cases, roughly 2/3 were symptomatic, but that means that 1 out of every 3 people had the virus but was not symptomatic. So we're very interested in what the test results show us, and that baseline testing again is the major obstacle for us to get out of phase 1 and into phase 2 of this 3-phase reopening. In phase 2, there's not a whole lot of difference as it impacts our residents in the health center and assisted living. The primary thing that we're able to do is start to bring some services back in, some non-employee services. So things like our podiatry service, our audiology service, dentistry, if it were that time of year, we would be able to bring some of those services back in with appropriate screening. And that phase 2 needs to last for at least 2 weeks. And then assuming that phase 2 passes and we haven't had an outbreak and the cases around us in Johnson County haven't spiked, we would then be able to move into phase 3, which would allow us to do limited visitation. So it is not still, even at phase 3, it is not still back to business as usual. It's not that 4 people could come in and visit mom or visit grandma. It is most likely 1 person at a time coming in to visit and protected in personal protective equipment. So mask, gown, all of that we as caregivers are doing. The visitor of a loved one here at Oaknoll Psych would be expected to use that same personal protective equipment to maintain safety for everyone. That is an overview of the 3-phase plan for opening up visitation to our health center and assisted living. Again, that is the kind of living up to the expectations and the guidelines that were presented from the state Department of Inspections and Appeals, and we clearly, for our licensed areas, need to do that. For our independent living residents, there are no set criteria for when we can open up visitors for independent living. I would say that if the cases in Johnson County continue to stay at the level that they've been, we're very close to being able to open up independent living visitor access. We want to get through this testing, make sure that we don't have any staff members who are positive, but once we have those test results early next week, we will have a serious conversation about whether we're able to begin visitors to independent living residents. In the meantime, all of you have the ability to leave the Oaknoll campus to see loved ones. If you do that, we absolutely encourage you to maintain social distance. So 6 feet or more, no hugs, no handshakes, and just continue to be extra careful. We know the risks are especially great for people with underlying health conditions and older adults. So the recommendation is still people age 65 and older to not go out unless it's absolutely necessary. So I know many of you are going to the grocery store, you're going out for walks, and we just want to encourage you to please be careful, just like I'm being careful. Restaurants opened a few weeks ago here in Iowa City. I have not been to a restaurant yet. We continue to do takeout meals when we want a restaurant meal, and we've been doing a whole lot more cooking at home than we typically would do. And we just want to encourage you to continue to be safe, use common sense, and stay away from crowds, stay away from too many people at the same time. We also do encourage you to use our outdoor areas, so you can have a loved one come and be outside at Oaknoll and just maintain that social distance. We're still not allowing anybody into the building, but we have had many visitors come and be outside the front lobby area or other areas around the campus where people are not coming inside. Just encourage you to continue to use common sense and maintain that social distance to keep yourself safe. As we have slowly reopened some of the amenities at Oaknoll, the biggest thing that you'll notice this week is that the Third on Third restaurant will open for dinner only starting on Thursday, June 18th. So that will be another option for our people who would like to eat meals outside of their apartment. We will continue to have a limit of 4 people per table, and the tables very spread out within the restaurant, but that will be another dining option for dinner for our residents here at Oaknoll. Still not allowing guests in, but you would have the choice of coming down and using Third on Third for your evening meal. On Sunday, the Oak Room will be completely closed, and we will offer meals at Third on Third for the entire day on Sunday. So lunch meal and a dinner meal, both at Third on Third. I think that's pretty much it for any changes in the immediate future. Mixers has opened to small groups at a time, no more than 12. The pool is open to a limited number of people at a time where we can maintain social distance. The theater, we've been open now for 2 or 3 weeks with a capacity of 12 people at a time. So we're slowly reopening, making sure that we don't have any setbacks as an increased number of cases, but we're still happy to report that we have no positive cases with our residents or with our staff. So it's like we're hoping to maintain that track record and get through this completely to the other side without having anybody that was infected. Thank you for everything that you're doing on that front. We appreciate it very much. Once again, thanks to all of you who are keeping the Oaknoll community as safe as we can possibly be. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.